Everybody has to be all in. You know, it has to be one big commitment.
We have a tremendous opportunity today, gentlemen. Tremendous opportunity.
Year in and year out, we keep producing young men that achieve on a high level academically.
And with that, we welcome you to the PG13 After Show. I'm Dave Owens. I'm your host, where we talk about everything good about the Prince George's County Public School Scholar Athlete. And today, my boys from Wise High School, Upper Marlboro, is in the house. Who's in the house? Wise. Who's in the house? Who's in the house?
Wow.
It always takes a couple of times to get them going. No, we appreciate Wise High School being in the house on a Sunday. I know there's a lot of places that you young men and coach could be, but we appreciate you taking some time with us today. Of course, you know who these folks are, but I'm going to introduce them. DeLon Parrish, head coach from Wise High School. A lot going on with the Wise program and this young man right here. We'll talk about that with him. Brandon Bell off to my left, great running back and outstanding scholar athlete, doing a good job over there, Wise. Appreciate you spending some time with him, man.
Thank you.
All the way over to my right, Mr. David Gilchrist. Good first name. I like that. Defensive back. Both guys seniors, both guys scholars, both guys doing a great job in the classroom. So we appreciate everybody being alongside on this ride today. This is a fun show because We talk about whys, but we also talk about scholar athletes on and off the field. Obviously, you young men do a lot more than just tote the football around, so we talk about that as well. It's also interactive because we have an audience out there. We're in the VoxWave studios, and people can, you can email us your questions, you can text us your questions, you can get online and talk to us and give us questions to these guys all about whys or whatever. We have fun with that. It's always interactive. And on that note, I'm not the only one who speaks, thankfully, because my voice is hoarse this week. But I have a co-host, Cherise. Everybody say, hi, Cherise. Hi, Cherise.
Hi, everybody.
Cherise does a great job for us. She's our social media guru. She'll be tracking everybody out there, all of the questions. Cherise is, but she's not just a pretty face. I mean, she is actually a co-host. And Cherise is going to get things popping for us this week. Cherise, you always have an opening comment. What do you got for us this week?
Yes, well, we always want to keep this interactive.
Right.
So if you have any questions or comments for the Pumas, let your voice be heard. Give me any comments, questions that you may have. And I also want to give a first charge to action to all of the people watching. I want to get your opinion on the Pumas. What do you think? How do you think they rank in high school football?
Wow.
Let us know that right now. Let us know.
So that's a good call to action question.
Great call to action.
Well, here's the thing about Cherise. She comes hard with the questions. She doesn't mess around. She doesn't mess around. So you want our people out there in YouTubeville to kind of chime in on that. Where do these guys rank amongst the best programs in the state of Maryland and the DMV? Right. Really? I'll tell you, I'm not going to have these guys answer that question because I don't want them to,
right.
dust dirt off their own shoulder. But I'll tell you what I think. I think they're top 5. I would say top 5 all time. I mean, when you think about Maryland, Virginia, D.C., there's a lot of great programs out there. I mean, you talk about DeMatha right off the top of my head. You think about those. Over in Virginia, you got Westfield. They do a great job over there. You can't forget D.C. and what Dunbar did back in the 80s and 90s and all that. So when you put all these programs together, I think you put Wise up there in the top 5 because they're doing a fantastic job. 4 championships, 3 in a row, and they're sending young men to school, quite frankly, and that's the most important thing in my mind. So I say top 5, but I want to know what you folks out there on YouTube think. So, and maybe some of the parents in the studio. Parents, don't put the camera on them, Ron. Don't put the camera on them, Ron. We'll get to that. So we look forward to your comments throughout the show. Coach, I want to start with you.
Okay.
This episode that we did was called The Hunters, Not the Hunted, which a lot of people would think is kind of switched around because they would think, well, you're the hunted because you've won the last 3 championships. Absolutely. Give me your perspective on why you like to say, listen, we won a lot of games, but we're still the hunters, not the hunted.
Well, I look at it from a standpoint of we don't fear any team.
Mm-hmm.
As the years go on, sometimes you think about doing the wrong thing.
Sure.
What you can do wrong instead of what you're going to do right, or what you go out there, how you perform, so to speak. We know there's some prey that fight back.
Yeah.
But you have to go out there with no fear. You're going to give 110%, and you don't look past what could happen. You go about what should happen. How you prepared, and you're going to go out there and do your best.
And I've been at your practices, and I've heard you preach that message. Dave, let me throw this out to you. It's got to be difficult, though, when, listen, you've won 20, 30, 40 straight games, to bring the same kind of intensity to practice every day. How tough is that? And then as a senior, how do you make sure that doesn't happen, and then you impart that to the young people that, hey, this is a process here. We've got to be good today so that we can keep those types of streaks going.
Well, we just all together. We gotta work hard. We know that everybody want us. Everybody don't want us to succeed. They don't want us to win states. They don't want to. But we just come together. We just know that we got a mission, and we gotta keep striving.
Is it hard though, Brandon? Is it hard to? It's easy to say it. Is it hard to live it?
We work hard every day, and we stand behind Coach P every step of the way. As you can see, we live by Coach P motto. We are the ones that everybody wants, and we gonna give you your best shot.
But it's interesting that knowing that you are everyone's Super Bowl, so to speak, you flip that around and you tell these young men, listen, yeah, we understand we're at the top, so to speak, but you almost have to prepare like you're not.
Absolutely. I mean, some people ask me who is our rival, and I always say it's everybody. It's everybody.
Wise versus everybody.
If you get everybody's 100%, you're there in the Super Bowl, then everybody's our rival. We're going to make sure we give you our 100%. That's a letdown for us.
Sure. If
we don't go out there and give 110 and respect our opponents and play the best, give you the best game possible, then we're not doing our job. We feel like it's a lot of good teams in our conference.
No doubt about that.
This whole area, and whoever we face, you're going to get the best from us, and we hope to get the best from you.
Well, speaking of preparing, we caught up with the Wise Pumas. Pumas. That's all I ever hear when I go to games. Pumas, first down. They get a lot of first downs. But how do they play at the top of the heap, and how do they keep that focus maintained? Well, we caught up with them during the summer, and we interviewed some of the players. And here's some of that as we caught up with the Pumas way back in August. Ron, here we go.
Well, it's a mindset, we always talk about we're wise and we want to be the hunters, not the hunted. Now we need to find out what's happening when we face to face. Can you get low, get him out of there? Can you get low, knock him back and extend out of there? Do we understand?
Yes, sir. Last year, coming in as a new starter, I was kind of a new guy, but me being the quarterback, you always have to be a leader. But this year, it's a new role for me.
We worked so hard, we can't wait to play on the football field. My coaches, they coach so hard, they can't wait to the coaches on the football field.
Everybody's coming at us every year, and they know that. No one wants to be the team that lets down.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the team that lets down. Is that in your mind? Because you got to know that there's been a lot of teams that have come before you that have done some great things. Is that something that's in your mind? You don't want to be that player or that team or that unit to let down some of the other teams that have come before you?
Definitely is, because they put in a lot of work before us, and it's only up to us that we got to keep putting that work.
Dave, it's interesting because I was out there over the summer, and I could just see that that's some of the things you guys talk about that. I mean, there's a lot of talk out there on the field of, hey, we have a standard. We have a standard that's been set from the teams before us. Sort of talk about that and how you guys sort of talk about that on a daily basis to make sure we're not letting down the Wise teams of the past.
Well, we had conversations about it. Like when we got there, it was turf. There was no like nice stuff. It was just straight dirt and grass and stuff. So like,
been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So like, we came with a mindset that we gotta like keep going. We gotta keep pushing, keep working hard. We gotta act like sort of we was still playing on like a dirt field and stuff, not like getting all the special stuff. So we just got that mindset that we got to keep going, pushing through.
Speaking of back in the day, I mean, the first year, people might find this hard to believe. Your first year, you guys went 2-8.
Absolutely.
Do you remember those days? Do you want to remember? You coached it.
I coached it, so I remember. I can tell you each and every year, what our record was. It was a struggle. But one thing I always knew, that the young men in Upper Marlboro, they fight. We was always good defensively.
Yeah, you're always
Flew
tough.
To the ball. I mean, we hit. They was violent. And,
in a good way.
In a good way.
In a football way.
Good point.
When did you recognize, Coach, that we're turning the corner here? We're going from a team that, hey, it's everyone's homecoming. We want to schedule Wise for homecoming to, I think we might have something here.
Year 3. I think the defining moment, we end up losing to Eleanor Roosevelt, I believe, by a point.
Sure.
And we had drove with a minute left in the game. We had drove down to the 2-yard line. And we didn't score. We ended up losing that game, I believe. If I can remember, I think it was like 24-22.
Sure.
But we was up at halftime, 14-0, and we had once held the lead, 21-0. We was 2-2 at that time.
Sure.
When we got on the bus, I was talking to the young men. I asked them, did they finally believe in me? And they said absolutely. And I talked about some of the changes we was going to make from some of those seniors on that team, some sacrifice they was going to have to make right there on the bus. They believed it. We went on to win 5 in a row.
Wow.
And then we met that same Roosevelt team. I think they was ranked 3rd in the state that year, and we knocked them off in overtime. And we went to Flowers that year and beat them at their spot, and that's when I knew it was it.
Well, and the foundation was set for many great things to come, no doubt about that. And it's really part of our question right off the top. You know, where does the WISE program rank when it comes to the best of all time in Maryland? I think definitely top 5. We definitely want to know what you're thinking out there online, social media. Give us your take on that. We want to hear from you. Sharice, let's go back over to you and get some comment from you. What do you have?
We definitely have some comments.
Oh, really?
Yes, we do. The comment
I had a feeling we was going to get some comments.
The comments are jumping at this point.
It's popping?
All right, so 8-Ball 4B98 said that WISE is the best public school in the state of Maryland. Anthony Bell says that Pumas have had an historical run, nothing short of legendary. And also 8-Ball 4B98 said Pumas versus everybody.
Pumas versus everybody.
We also have a comment saying that I loved what Brandon Bell had to say about working hard every day, that work ethic. And we also have a question for Dave, also from 8-Ball 4B98. Dave, what has it been like from going to watching the Pumas to now starting for them?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Did you plant that question? I'm messing with you.
Nah, actually, I've been dreaming about playing. Like, for them, it's like, so this year, I felt like it was my time to shine. Like, I've been on the bench or in the stands watching them, like, dang, I want to be them. And now it's finally my time to shine, so I'm going to give Coach everything I got every play.
It's interesting, too, because when you finally get there, do you come to realize these guys are working hard?
Yeah.
I mean, to wear this jersey, to wear this cool polo and with the emblem on your chest, it's saying something. It means something to wear that, no doubt about that. Yeah, I agree with some of those, some of our listeners and viewers out there. They're definitely one of the best. Tell you another reason they're one of the best. They do more than football. And I know all the schools do it. We got WISE here today, so I definitely want to focus on WISE. It would be easy to talk about 40-plus wins and 43 and whatever and state championships. They also do a lot of good work off the field. And, Coach, I know you're proud of that. You saw it in our open there. I think about 140, 150 young men going to school, not just the 5-star, Towson and Bowie and all these other places. Young men continuing their education, and I know you're very proud about that.
I guess to touch base with Dave for a minute, it's sort of emotional when I think about it. He was answering the question, and I was just thinking, I've coached now. The school was only 13 years, and I've coached like 18 sets of brothers.
Take your time.
Some of them, excuse me, as that question, Dave, I remember when they was coming to the game, and you see them, and people don't understand. For people that's been in Prince George's County, you know, that's a rare thing. You know, in Prince George's County, you have, in the same household, you'll have brothers that go to tech magnet schools, and a brother to go to private school, a sister that may go to the zone school. For me to be able to coach 18 sets of brothers, and the parents believe in me, and the brothers wanting to play, that's what I thought it would be like when I got into coaching high school football. You know, that's what it was like for me growing up, trying to see the big person in the neighborhood, or your uncle or your brother, whatever, your cousin, playing for the same school you live. So to be able to coach those brothers, that's been phenomenal. As far as the question you was asking, when I first started, if I could get, I tried to, if we get 4 to 5 young men to move on to school, you know, that would be big for me. I knew if we could do that, and sooner or later, you was going to win regardless. Because that means you have good players, you have good people that's committed. I wanted to reach the people that I grew up with that maybe didn't have that positive support. You know, I thought I played for a lot of good coaches, but our coach couldn't reach everybody. He didn't know everything that was going on in our household. He just didn't know. You know, he coached, and that was it. You know, he talked, and he had a select group of young men on the team that he was close with. But I wanted to be able to reach everybody, to try to reach 90% of them. And if I couldn't, you know, then maybe my assistant, if I could bring in the right kind of assistants, then they could reach those people. So the young men have somebody to speak to besides me.
Well, your message is being received with young men like this. I mean, 3.2 grade point average right over here. Look no further than your starting running back. Give me your mentality when it comes to academics off the field. It could be easy to walk around and say, I'm Brandon Bell, score touchdowns, going to college, I ain't got to go to school. Give me the mentality of Brandon Bell when it comes to the academic side of it.
Well, when you have a coach like Coach P, stay on you every day. I'm telling him every day.
Yeah.
We practice, every time we finish practice, the first thing he mentions is grades. Stay on top of your grades, because without the grades, you can't go nowhere. And even like with a C, you have a C, or it's a problem with Coach P. So,
And I got a feeling if you got a problem with Coach P, you got a problem. That's just me.
I know a lot of programs, they don't really stay on top of grades like we do. So a C is big for us. That's a big problem.
Bottom line, these young men, coach included, young man, are not just talking it, they're walking it. But we caught up with them over the summer and then as the school year began to kind of get a sense for their thought process when it came to academics. Talk to the athletic director as well. Ron, we're going to show some of that right here, right now. Let's check it out.
We try not to focus on just being a high school athlete because we don't want students that have the mindset that they're going to school to play sports, but we want them to look at it from the standpoint of they're playing sports to go to school.
Year in and year out, we keep producing young men that achieve on a high level academically. And coming into our building, you know, socially, you advance your skills that way also.
The whole quarter staff has been teaching us how to be young men and how to prepare ourselves in life. It's not always about football, but it's about life.
We try to build up the student athlete, but sometimes you have to rebuild the student athlete. Help them pick out their classes wisely. You have to guide them through as a coach to help prepare them for not just graduation, but for a post-secondary life.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Or as the young people say, that's what's up. Do they still say that?
No.
They don't. Okay, wow. Boy, I'm getting old, Coach. Man, I'm getting old. Right. No, but that's good. I mean, bottom line, in all seriousness, that's real. I mean, because football, beyond, or whatever sports you might play, getting that educational foundation is important. Let's go back over to Sharice. Sharice, are the lines still popping or
They're
what?
Still popping, Dave.
Talk to us.
So going back to our original question about the rank of wise, we have a Mary Wolfrey who said wise breeds straight dogs, top 3 in Maryland. And
Straight dogs.
Straight dogs.
In a good way.
Yes, in a good way.
There we go.
Yes, we understand what you were trying to say, Miss Mary. Now, we also have a question for Brandon. Brandon, what was the adjustment like when you transferred in from a private school? How did the coaching staff help you with your adjustment?
It was a big difference as far as the community, but it was a brotherhood, instant brotherhood, a clique. In the summer before my sophomore year, came in, started working out, and it was an instant brotherhood. So it was comfortable. It was great. And I wouldn't have it no other way.
I tell you, and again, I'm not going to sit here and tell any parent what to do with their young person in terms of school, but it's got to make you feel good, Coach, to know that the notion that you have to send your young man or young woman to a private school to get a quality education and play good sports, Wise sort of, and other schools as well in Prince George's County Public Schools are proving that that's not the case. They can go to your schools, get a quality education as well.
Absolutely. I understand that every situation is different.
Sure.
For everybody, for every household. But for me, and the parents that trust Wise High School, our program, to be able to send their young men and the ladies out there too, into our building, and that they can be successful and move on. That there's people there that support them all throughout the county. Every school, I believe, is people in that building that's going to support you. Yep. They're going to be there for you. It's just not pushing the elite, so to speak, in one direction, and we're going to try to build you up. And it's a humbling experience to be able to do that on a day-to-day basis and have that trust of my players, the students that I teach in my class and things of that nature. It's humbling, but it's a great responsibility that I'll gladly accept, and I know there's people out there today that's accepting that challenge every day.
Doing a great job. So that's sort of the academic/life skill part of it. Let's get back to football as we wrap this thing up. Dave, if you had to, I don't know, put your finger on what this year has been like for you guys, give me just a sketch, an overall summary of what this season has been like. There's been some ups, there's been some downs, but you guys are battling through it.
Well, it's been good. We took a loss against Calvert. People thought we wasn't good no more. We got a whole bunch of respect loss. They thought we were just bad. But like as a team, we just knew that we had to come stronger. We knew what we was going to do. We knew that we was going to go back to states, take it game by game, and just work harder.
I'll tell you what's interesting too, Coach, and listen, you guys don't need anyone to kind of pat you on your back, but I think it spoke a lot about your program, how you dealt with loss. Anyone can do an interview when you won 55-0. Everyone can do that. That's easy.
Right.
But you guys certainly stepped up to the microphones and answered the questions when you got beat. It's part of life. Yeah. It's what happens.
Yeah, it is.
And you guys did a great job of that. Let's take another look at this, Ron, as we take a look at the season that has been Dr. Henry A. Wise Pumas. They've had some ups. They've had some downs. They've also had some special nights involving this guy right here. We'll talk about all of that in this clip coming up. Here we go, Ron.
We have a tremendous opportunity today, gentlemen.
As a coaching staff, we talk about it all the time in terms of not letting down, making sure we're coaching to the fullest of our potential.
This is it's a multifaceted night. This is Homecoming 2018. We're also going to celebrate the widow of Dr. Henry A. Wise.
How you doing today?
We will officially be naming the field, the Lawn Parish football field, in Dr. Henry A. Wise Stadium.
I don't, by far stretch of imagination, compare myself to Dr. Henry A. Wise or Mrs. Wise and what they mean for the community. If you're going to put my name, I guess, next to them, I'm truly honored. I hope to leave a legacy. I think every person would like to be remembered forever, and I think we all strive to be the best we can be.
Wow, that had to be emotional.
Yes.
I mean, you think about that, just what the name, Dr. Henry A. Wise means to not just Prince George's County Public Schools, but just this region. And then to have your name associated with the field and the stadium, boy, and his widow there that night. I can only imagine what that was like.
It was emotional. I still had business to take care of.
You did. You did.
You have to put yourself aside, I guess, for the whole program at that day. I still haven't had a chance really just to sit back and really, really think about it. Mm-hmm. I thought about it. It's humbling. It's an honor. The day my athletic director told me and my principal came up to me, I remember getting a phone call, a text, so to speak, from one of my friends that was down at the board, like, do you know they about to vote on this? And I'm like,
it was unanimous.
That's what they tell me, right?
Yeah.
So, again, humbling.
Yeah.
Humbling experience. It's a lot to live up to. I'm going to try my best to continue, but with young men like these two, I'm sure it's not going to be that difficult. It's just living day to day and just living what I'm telling them every day. So with that.
No, well said. It's emotional. I would, if I was in your shoes, which I'm not. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely emotional. One of the young men that we saw in that video clip, Brandon Bell, going into the end zone, which he has done a lot of this year.
Absolutely.
Talk about your season and just Obviously, I know every running back loves to talk about his offensive line as well, but just give me a sense of your season, how it's been going right now.
It's going great so far. It's only going to get better from here, though. I can tell you that. But the O-line, they've been stepping it up great.
Sure.
Not even just for me, but also for our quarterback, Quentin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And his throw game is also coming together. So for our whole offense, it's clicking now.
He's getting it going. He's getting it going.
It's going to be something serious. You know, so
well, this brings up my favorite part of the show, guys. My favorite part of the show. Back over to Sharice for some more comment online. She's also got a bell over there because it's trivia time. It is trivia. Are we ready to get this thing popping?
We're ready.
Yeah. Duval was here last week.
They were here
They
last
answered
week.
a couple of
They did
questions.
pretty good last
Flowers was here the week before. They answered 2. We're going to see if Wise can do better than those. But do we have any other comment out there? Or anything else?
How many did Damon Powell answer?
Powell cheated, though. I think Powell might have cheated. And you know Lockwood, you got to keep your eye on him at all times. We got to keep our eye on you, too. I mean, we got to keep our eye on you, too. But any commentary online, Sharice, or anything?
Just commentary about, good deal, naming the field after Coach Parrish.
Sure.
And also about grades, keeping the grades up, and great job on and off the field to you young men.
Well, we appreciate all the folks out there chiming in on this, because that's what it's really about. It's about these young men who are doing an outstanding job on, but more importantly, off the field. So let's get some trivia popping here.
Go.
And by the way, I never hear these questions before she asks them. You will have a few, 10, 15 seconds to answer them? 10 seconds? Yeah. Okay, well, it could be anything. It could be Wise related. It could be, it could be pop culture. Yeah. But I'm going to let Sharice go. And if you get it right, you're going to hear this sound. If you get it wrong, we don't have a special effect for getting it wrong. It's just, you can ask parents who are here. Here we go, Sharice. What we got?
All right, so I have a couple of questions for you today, but we're going to see how many we can do. So like I said, this is Wise related and news related.
Okay.
So first we're going to start off with Wise related, an easy question. Now we
So you
all
say.
know, a question that I don't know. But we all know that Dr. Henry Wise Jr. was known as being the first African-American doctor in Prince George's County.
Yep.
But what else was he known as?
He was a Tuskegee Airman.
Oh.
Bing, bing.
Hey, are these
competition,
it's competition. Are these poor young men gonna get a chance?
All right. So
Here we are. That's one.
All right, we have some news now. In news with the NBA.
NBA?
Yes. Which NBA player recently announced his retirement on Instagram?
Richard Jefferson. Bing, bing.
Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. Now this one, let's see. Because I worked hard on this one.
You worked hard on this one?
I worked hard on this last one. Now, we all know that Dr. Henry Wise, the Pumas, have been a dominant force on the football field, closing in last season with their 3rd consecutive 4A state championship. Now, this is a multiple choice question. How many points overall did the Pumas score last season?
Oh, wow.
599, 603, 613.
Great question. Man.
Oh, I got Coach quiet over
quiet.
there.
Hey, Coach is quiet over there. What was it?
599, 603, 613.
Oh, I'm going to go with 613.
Okay.
We got some.
One answer for the team.
We went with 13. I went with 603.
Okay, well, what's the final answer?
613.
Okay, is that
13.
The answer is 603.
Ding, ding. Coach
got it right.
3
So with the Anna, ding, ding.
We got time for one more?
One more question. All right,
okay.
now in terms of college sports, Nike recently signed their first college athlete with, I just gave away the answer. I said Nike. Okay, I got another one. That's
one
why I got extras.
One more.
I got extras.
That's okay.
A recent study showed that they named a fast food restaurant as the fastest fast food restaurant. Is it Burger King, McDonald's, or Little Caesars?
Ooh.
The fastest fast food restaurant.
I'll tell you,
I'm going to say Little Caesars.
All right, is that the final answer for all of you?
What y'all going with?
I go with my coach.
Oh, this time you
You going, Coach? Brandon?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Coach.
Okay. The answer is Burger King.
Burger King.
Burger
See, I would
King.
say McDonald's.
Yeah, no, a lot of in the article
Yeah.
it was saying that a lot of people thought it was McDonald's was actually Burger King.
Wow. Well,
So you all did really good.
2 out of 4 ain't bad.
Good.
2 out of 4 ain't bad.
Coach went with his team.
2 out of 4, 3 and 1 for the coach.
Right.
There you go.
So 3 out of 4 for Coach.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, Coach, Dave, Brandon, appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate the parents who are here, too.
Yes.
We can't see them, but we got to thank the parents for driving over here. And we really thank you because it's Sunday, and we know that you could be doing a lot of different things. You came down here, and we appreciate you for that. I wish I had something to give you, but I don't. But but just my smile. No, but appreciate you guys. Continue to do great work off and on the field, and we'll probably catch up with you, I'm sure, later in the year. Don't forget, you can check out all of these episodes on Prince George's County Public Schools digital platforms, which means, help me out here, Sharice, Facebook, YouTube, website,
Yes, sir.
MySpace. Is that still a thing?
Not
No?
MySpace.
MySpace is over? Okay. Okay.
Instagram,
Twitter. You can check this all out here. They come up.
Black Planet.
Yeah. And we'll have other schools in here. Wise is this week. We've got a couple of smaller schools coming up in the weeks to come. Fairmount Heights doing a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
We've got some schools here, too, who they haven't won much, but they're doing a great job with scholar athletes, whether they're winning or they're losing, and that's what it's really all about. And with that, we'll let you go. We'll get you on out of here. Ron, are we ready to take these folks out of here on the wheels of steel? Do we have one more left out of you? Here we go. Let's take this thing home. We will see you guys and ladies all next week. Take it easy, everybody.